Hello, my name is Sarah. Welcome to the It's a Sarah podcast. Today it is Monday, July 3rd, 2023, and this is episode 92. I love to knit, I love to crochet, and I love to talk, so that's the perfect combination for making this podcast. I love talking about my knit and crochet so much that I make episodes twice a week, every Monday and every Friday. I make them in Dutch and in English, so be sure you pick the right one. I'm coming to you from the Netherlands, so excuse my Dutchy English. Okay, it is Monday and it's quite early in the morning. It's a little bit past 7, I guess. I don't know, I didn't check. I just filmed my Dutch episode and I normally never film episodes so early in the morning, but it is a bit, my day will be a bit different than normal Mondays. So I was thinking, when do I have to podcast? When do I have to film? And then I realized I had some time in the early morning. I didn't even have my morning coffee. So when you think I'm looking a bit sleepy, and it's because of that. But my family is still sleeping. We here in the Netherlands, in the part of the Netherlands I live, we have a summer holiday within 2 weeks. Although the schools will be closed within 2 weeks for the holiday, and when your children are going to a primary school, when they are little, they go to school until the last day, and they have lessons until the last day. But my children, they are going to the high school, I guess you call it like that. They are teenagers, and their lessons are already over. They finished last week their last lessons. And now this 2 weeks, they have some activities for fun and some organizing activities, but it's total different. And that means there is no school time structure. Normally we start school at 8:30, around about 8:30. I don't like that. And that's every day. Monday to Friday, so that's really structured, but that's gone, and I realized my whole rhythm, the rhythm of the family, but definitely also my rhythm, is changed by that, and I'm quite sensitive to rhythm. I didn't always realize, and for example, when we go on holiday with our caravan and we enjoy camping life, the first days of our holiday, I always felt so restless and overwhelmed, and I didn't understand, and I always thought it was so annoying because we have holiday, I have to be relaxed, and a few years ago I discovered that it was because of the change of rhythm, and my rhythm at home was not a rhythm for the holiday, and there was no rhythm, and my rhythm is my structure, not just a little bit rhythm, because it's also good to have empty space in which things can happen, but a little bit of rhythm at the beginning of the day and at the end of the day, it works very good for me. So now this is a bit of an interesting period, an interesting time, because we don't have holiday, but we also don't have school. So for me, it's always a bit of a messy time. I normally do my things when the kids are to school. They leave at 8, and then I do my things. And now they are sleeping, and I can't make any noise. They won't wake up, but I'm still thinking that. So I did have to change my own rhythm too, and for the first time this year, I realized it before I got overwhelmed. So that's very nice. Yeah, and I think to have a little bit of rhythm in the early morning and before I go to bed is really. It gives my life a bit of steadiness. I don't know how to say it in English. It's just when my days are, when I just do things with no structure, I'm not a happy person. And I know it's different for a lot of people. And it's important that you do what feels good for you. Some people are I don't know, they don't like any rhythm or routines, but I feel way more relaxed, and I can enjoy my time way more when I have the rhythms and the routines. So that's very nice. But now we are not in my rhythm, not because I didn't have my morning coffee, but I love chatting with you so much that it's not a problem. And when I finish, I can enjoy a little bit of crochet and a cup of coffee. But we can be interrupted because I didn't tell my family that I would film episodes. So maybe someone's coming out of bed any minute. We shall see. Okay, let's go into the handwerkperikelen. I'm very happy. I'm glad I saved some from last week because I had a very busy weekend with not a lot of handwork time. I did work on my Thea, and I can't tell about it a little bit. Interesting, I think. For me, it was interesting. But I also have some things from last week. But let me start with what I'm wearing. I'm wearing my Ariana cardigan. And I told about it quite often before, so I will keep it short. But the Ariana cardigan is a free pattern on Ravelry from Christoffers, and I made it last summer when we were on holiday. It's the perfect summer project, the perfect holiday project, because you can crochet all the squares. And when you just skip the last round, you can make a big pile of squares. The pattern tells you how much squares and triangles you need. And then you have little tiny squares to work on. So that's very nice when it's hot outside or when you are traveling and you only can bring a little bit with you. So I enjoyed it a lot. And then at the end, you can join them together with the main color and add the ribbing and the borders. I didn't manage to make the video how I do the joints already, but I will have time for that this week. So it will come this week, I promise. I really promise. I'm making a scrappy version right now with sock yarn, and I make a jumper, a sweater of it, and I enjoyed making the scrappy version more than this one because it's more exciting, not knowing which color you pick, and this one is every square has the same color combination, so I know at the end I was bored by that. But the result is a very balanced color combination in the cardigan, and I love to wear that. So I can imagine I love wearing this more than my scrappy version. I don't know, but I love making the scrappy version more. I think enough about this one because I told about it before. Maybe when I made it last summer, so maybe when you find an episode in August or September I guess, then I will tell more about the fresh finished object. Enough for now. Okay, the Thea top. I'm working on my Thea top. The Thea top is a pattern from Paula Strict, and I make my own version of it. I showed you Friday that my brown version Thea wasn't liking the brown. She wants to be a colored striped version. It's quite colorful for me, but I really, I love scrappy projects, and I love picking the colors. I just throw in my basket the colors I like. And I think that they will go a bit good together. And when I'm knitting, I just pick the colors as I go. And there's no planning. I just try to feel what does it need now. And I try to avoid to make the same color combinations over and over again. So I check what I did before, but it not always work out, and it's okay. But I just I really love it. It's quite bright, but it's nice to have something. It's very nice to work on. I enjoy it much more than working on a plain one. But I think I will how do you say it? That wearing a plain one I will love more, but we shall see. I worked on the ribbing. I picked up the stitches on the neckline, and the pattern tells you to do that with crochet chains. Oh, I don't know the stitch in the name. In Dutch we call it halve vaste. Oh, there's someone coming. One moment, please. Schat, ik ben een vlogje aan het maken. Kan jij nog even een kwartiertje lekker in bed liggen? Okay, sent back to bed. How do you tell? I don't have the pattern here, I guess. The slip stitches, of course, slip stitches. The slip stitches would approve some steadiness in the strands. No, in the straps. Yeah. So it won't hang out too much when you are wearing it. And I really like that idea. So I did that. Only when I picked up this, I did it with a crochet hook. And when I picked up the stitches all over the place and I picked them up with a knitting needle, I didn't like the look of it. I prefer the look of just picking up stitches as I always do. But I really want the steadiness, so I did something different, not in the way it's supposed to be. I picked up the stitches and left a little, the left leg of the slip stitches visible. So there's a bit of a line here. And that's not how you have to do, how you're supposed to do it, but I love the look better. And I only did a little bit line of slip stitches on the sides. And I didn't make them here and in the neckline because it was not necessary and not looking good. I picked up my stitches with a 2.25 millimeter needle, knitting needle, 2.25 needle. It's early in the morning, I guess. I'm a loose knitter, so my ribbing always gets loose quite soon. So I try to knit it on small needles for a better look. And that worked out okay. I knitted 10 rows and then I did a regular bind off because I like the look of the regular bind off, especially on the neckline. And I did nothing special because on the neckline I think it's quite nice when the bind off is a bit tight because it keeps the neckline in place. Pretty good. And then I worked on the ribbing for the armhole and I tried something new. Last week I was wearing my tops and there was too much ribbing. It was too high because I did the increases. No, I did knit it bottom up. So the decreases and for the armholes and the neckline at the same high. And you have to do the decreases or increases when you go top down. They are not on the same length, same high. So that was not a good idea. But there was too much ribbing in my armpits and it was too tight. And some of you suggested to do short rows in the ribbing. And that was a very good suggestion. So thank you for that. I did it here. I tried it here. And I had to try 2 times because... the first time I did short rows with only 2 stitches between the short rows and then there was too much fabric still here, and now I made short rows with 5 stitches. I start with knitting 4 rows and then I did short rows. How many? 6 short rows I made, and then with 4 stitches between every time, and then I did knit the German short rows and then I knit the whole thing. And I think it's a little bit on the wide side. Maybe I had to start the short rows after 3 rows of ribbing knitting. There must be a little bit here because otherwise I think it's not looking, it looks a bit weird, I guess. But I'm not sure. So I decided to try that on the other armhole before I will rip this out again. I don't mind ripping out because I'm playing to get the perfect result for my body, and I don't think it's annoying me. No, not at all. But I want to see the difference. So I did pick up for the armholes. I did a slip stitch all around. And on the same way with a little line visible, the little leg visible. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see what you see because I'm not filming on the selfie stand of my phone. So I will start the short rows one row earlier, and then we'll see how it looks. But it looks pretty good. I was really happy with how it fits on my body, but only maybe one round too much. So we shall see. So thank you for the suggestion of the short rows and the ribbing. It really made me happy. Okay, enough about Thea. I will work on her this week. So you can go there. Oh. And then we have this nice project bag. Well, I love it, with a little sheep on it. It's from a local yarn store in the town next to my town in Tilburg, Wol Atelier Tilburg. And I really love this logo. Last week I was reorganizing my works in progress, I think. I have a space. I didn't film it, and when I was finished I thought, oh, this was it would have been fun to film. So I'm sorry, maybe I will do a little filming for at the end of the video. But I have a little corner in our living room where all my running projects are. So there was a basket and another basket, another basket, but it was a bit of a messy pile, and I don't like that. So I changed a little cupboard, and I changed some things around. I really love changing things in the house every now and then, with what I have, with not buying new stuff, but just give a piece of furniture another function. And yeah, I love that. It always gives me fresh energy. So I made a little cupboard. I always think I can't find the right word. In Dutch, I would say kastje. I put a little kastje there, and I put in all my baskets and all my projects. So I had all my running projects, all my works in progress in my hands. And then I realized this one, I don't want to finish it. It is a Granny Stripes blanket. It's not my sock yarn Granny Stripes, but it's when I made my February episodes, I reorganized my whole yarn stash, and I had this big yarn skein left over, but quite a big leftover. I didn't know what to do with, and I really need some Granny Stripes to crochet. So I casted on a Granny Stripes blanket, and I did know that I wouldn't have enough for the whole blanket. But I just add some other colors which I thought were matching without any. Just when I finished a ball of yarn, I attached the other one with not neat rows or whatever, just in the middle of the row. And this was for me really a process crochet, not a process knit, but a process crochet. I really loved crocheting the Granny Stripes. It always has a really relaxing effect on me. The rhythm of the Granny Stitch. When you watch my videos, you already know that I am a big Granny Stitch lover, and I really enjoyed it. But I was not making it for someone. I just thought, when it's finished, I have a baby blanket, and when there will be born a baby around me, I can give it. But I didn't want to, and when I was I don't want to finish it. When I was reorganizing, I realized that this wasn't hard jumping anymore. It was in the beginning because I really loved crocheting the stripes, but it isn't hard jumping anymore. And then I don't want to keep things that are not hard jumping. I really have no problem with on Ravelry you call it hibernating works in progress. I really don't mind, but it's really important that they are still hard jumping. My scrappy blankets are not really growing at the moment. I'm not working on them, but that's not a problem because I really love them, and they will be finished one day, and that's absolutely fine. But this one, I didn't have the feeling with this one, and when I keep my projects which are not hard jumping, they are laying on my shoulders and they are pressing on my shoulders then, and then they are taking energy away, and without I'm quite often I'm even not conscious of it, but it just happens when you have too much unfinished things that are not moving but also are not hard jumping. Yeah, I don't know. I don't love that feeling. So then I have no problem with frogging it. It's just it did its job. It made me happy, and now yeah, I don't know. I these leftovers I can use for my Thea top, and this one I still don't know what to do with. We shall see. I don't know. Maybe I keep it, maybe not. So yeah, that's how I do. I have quite some things on the needles right now. I'm always a bit, I love to work on several projects at the same time, but my main focus is on one project quite often. That works the best for me. So I have a main project and some morning and evening projects and a sock for in my backpack. And that works the best for me. But when there are too many projects laying around, I feel a bit restless. That's not nice. They are not growing, and they are also, I don't know, they deserve a little bit of attention. And when you don't want to give them attention anymore, then you have to remove them from your life. So that's what I will do. I'm sorry, and thank you for making my heart jump a few months ago. Oh, the little sheep, it has a hard nose. It's so sweet. Okay, and then last, this is also my last handwerk pericole. This is in a special plastic bag against moths. We have moths in our house quite a lot at the moment. It's really good moth time. So yeah, I'm a bit worried, but I try to ignore. Maybe they will damage something, but yeah, I don't want to have stress about that. This is a little piece of a little sleeve. I showed it before. There's a Dutch knitter. Her name is Eve, and she designed a wonderful all-over colorwork cardigan based on a cardigan she bought in the shop, and I used to have that cardigan too, and I don't have it. I don't own it anymore, but I really have good memories of the cardigan. So and I really love the pattern. So I do a test knit with several ladies for her, and it's a fingering weight cardigan, and Eve knitted her version with sock yarn. And I have the Shetland wool on my wish list for quite a long time, and when I saw that the sock yarn she used and the Shetland wool has the same yardage, do you say yardage? In Dutch we say looplengte, the same amount of meters per gram. How do you say it? Is it yardage? I think it's yardage. This yarn has, where are you? Isn't it up to, it must be here. Ah, 50 gram, 210 meters, and this yarn is exact the same. So I don't know why I'm looking at it. Well, because I know it for quite sure. I also can't find it. this is also 25 gram, 105 meters, so that's exact the same. So my heart jumped because I thought, oh, then I can use that yarn for that cardigan. So I ordered it, and accidentally I ordered the half of amount I needed because I didn't realize it were 25 gram balls. I was so focused on the color choices because there are over 200 colors in this yarn. In this Jamieson's Shetland Spindrift, that I didn't pay attention to the little balls. But it didn't matter because I could order again. But I did not do that yet. But when I started this cardigan when I was on my alone holiday in my little caravan. I made an episode by then, and it was really lovely, and I really enjoyed knitting it. But I was struggling with the gauge. I didn't get gauge. I didn't get gauge. I had two less stitches. I had not enough stitches to get gauge. So I went down a needle size, and again I went down another needle size, and now I'm knitting my sleeve on 2.5 millimeter needles, and look, it's way too wide, and the pattern tells you have to do increases, but quite a lot all over the sleeve, quite a lot increases. I'm knitting the smallest size, and I thought, no, this is way too wide. I don't love oversized cardigans. It's not looking really good at me. I really love the fitted sleeve on this cardigan, and I couldn't go down another needle size, and then I didn't knit on it for quite a while because I didn't know what to do. Of course I could find a solution, but I also did it. It's a test knit, so it's not when I would have bought the pattern. Maybe I felt more comfortable with doing all my how do you say? There's a word for it. Modifications. But right now, I just also the test knit is also for information for her. So I didn't know what to do with, and it wasn't moving. It was just laying there, and then I decided to just buy the same yarn as she knitted, because there were several people telling me that because of the spinning of the Jamieson Spindrift, the Shetland wool, it's more fluffy, it's more airy, and that's it gives a total different gauge than a sock yarn. And I only looked at the yardage, at the meters per gram, so I didn't know that. And then because I have to order more yarn, I was thinking, what shall I do? And then I realized, no, I'm not going to do that. I will make a lovely Spencer, a lovely vest of it, I guess. I saw Jonna from Knit Together with Kim and Jonna. She was making the academic vest, is it, I guess? Not the librarian, that's a plain one. The academic vest from Skeender. And I saw that before, and I really loved it. So I think I will make it from this yarn. I really would love to make it, and I really love to wear it. So, and then I ordered the sock yarn. I didn't want to have a superwash sock yarn all over Color Road cardigan, but when I ordered this box, when it arrived when I was filming Friday. It was this one. It made me very happy. For the colors, again, I had to choose. I have to say, not every test knitter has problems with getting gauge. Only the loose knitters, I guess. There are also people knitting with the same yarn without any problems and perfect gauge and lovely color combinations. I have to choose colors again, and I thought I really love the original colors, but I also want to make my own version. So then I thought, shall I make a green one? But I didn't know, and I have to buy some extra yarn, so I didn't have to pay the costs for the sending costs. Do you call it like that in English? Quite often in the Netherlands, I don't know if that's everywhere, from when you have a certain how do you say it? When you order for quite some money, for a certain amount of money, then you don't have to pay that cost. So I was quite close to it, and I thought, okay, I can pay a few euros extra for sending, or I can pay a few euros extra for yarn. That's not a hard choice for a knitter. So I chose this one, and these three I added to not pay the cost. And I was thinking with green, this one, but then I realized when I got the yarn that I wanted in this color combination. So I think I will make this color combination with this as the main color, and then the stars will be almonds. Yeah, I think I really love it. And there was a great suggestion. Someone said, why don't you start with a provisional cast on? And that was very a good suggestion, because there's quite some ribbing at the beginning. And when you have to check your gauge and check your color combination, if it works out pretty good, it's nice that you can skip this part, because that's quite a lot of work, but this will not be a problem. And also, you can check afterwards if your sleeves are long enough, and maybe you can add some color work or whatever. So I will do that. I will start with a provisional cast on, and I will check how my color work, my color combination will be. But I won't start with it right now. My needles are busy knitting the Thea top, and I really want to make this, but I want to finish some other things first, and we are leaving on holiday in 2 weeks, and I don't know if I will bring it to me. We have quite a social holiday, and this is really a knit that I want to focus on all over color work. I have to count, I have to check. There's happening a lot, so that's better for me to be alone. So I'm not sure. I also use my laptop to check the chart, but I don't bring my laptop on holiday, and I don't want to. So I think the test knit runs until September. So I think when we come back in the early August, I will dive into this project. I think that it will be, that would be really nice. Then I have the time and the quiet time to do that in the early mornings when my children are sleeping during the holidays. Yeah. So, those were my handwerkperikelen from the last days. And now I really am longing for a big cup of coffee and some nice crochet. I always start my day with crocheting a square for my scrappy Ariana. So I will do that right now. And I'm very happy that I filmed already, so that will not be a problem today, the rest of the day. It felt really nice, but I need coffee right now. I feel it. Oh, that's quite. I don't love to be. I don't love it. It's quite the caffeine is, of course, is quite an addiction, and I don't love that. But I love the coffee so much. I don't drink a lot of coffee. I drink 2 every day, and I really enjoy it. Yeah. So I will do that. Thank you for watching, and I wish you a very nice week with hopefully a lot of nice hard jumping handwerkperikelen. And I will see you Friday, I hope. That was not the way I want to say it. I hope. I want to say I wish you a very nice week with hopefully a lot of I really need coffee. I wish you a very lovely I wish you a very lovely week with a lot of hard jumping handwerkperikelen, and I hope to see you on Friday. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.